Okay, remember that they are changing my voice. And this video is not about insulting anyone, it's about helping you understand what's going on. And without using points of references, be they racial or gender-based or a blonde female in popular culture in a TV show, okay? Without using these kind of references, it's very difficult. So why are they doing things to try to confuse things to no avail, right? Clearly to no avail. When someone says that they're the top martial artist ever and they're a 6'4" black person, they have your attention, right? When they're wearing a kung fu gi, they have your attention, okay? And you're going to hear them out. Whether the person is stumbling on their words like many celebrities do, you're going to hear them out. Whether their video, when they put the picture on the screen is a little off, you're going to hear them out. Whether they have the background noise or not, you're going to hear them out unless you're, your tail tucked just following the government like a foolish sheep or something, right? Pretty straightforward. Okay. So when we look at Kelly Bundy on the screen, right? Imagine if she had a twin brother, okay? He'd have a similar problem that she does as a character in the movie, right? In fact, her brother in the TV series has similar problems, right? He's kind of foolish. So for the same reason there's dumb blondes in popular culture and TV shows, okay? And a lot of people believe for whatever reason that there's dumb blondes in their class or in their neighborhood or they dated or whatever, right? There's dumb guys. And they have certain features, certain scatterbrained features. They're senseless, they're thoughtless, they're careless. They're not mature, they're not sincere, they're not honest. They're not disciplined, okay? That's why they keep doing that. So if you ever need an explanation, say, why do you keep posting these videos? Because people believe me anyway, because I'm the top martial artist, and obviously I'm telling the truth. So it's not going to stop them from believing me if my pictures are a little bit off, or if they put red on my lips, especially when I'm pointing those things out and other people are not. They're going to respect that more than, the idea of Jesus on the cross. I'm in my glory, and they're resorting to very immature things that extremely disgrace their families to the point of no return. Now, we'll get to that later, why that is and why they would do that. Okay, so write this phrase down, right? These people need a serious talking to before they do what is right. These people are the types of people that need a serious talking to before they do what is right. They don't naturally do what is right. They don't judge for themselves to do what is right. Like it says in the Bible, why don't you judge for yourselves what is right? They don't do that. They need to be talked to like a fool, like an idiot, like an immature kid that has no sense whatsoever. It's important you understand that, because that factors into why they're doing this. They say, why are they targeting you? Because these people aren't the top martial artists ever. They're not the most mature person ever. They're the type of people like Kelly Bundy in the TV show who need a serious talking to first. Okay? Once you understand that, everything lines up. So it doesn't take a genius to see that, someone who's the top martial artist ever is going to be sharper than everyone else, and he's going to be heterosexual. Some people might argue they're doing this because they want people to think that you're gay, right? Okay, maybe somewhere, somehow, some of them think that because they certainly aren't very smart, right? But, no offense to anyone. Again, this is how it needs to be explained, right? You need to get to the point. I'm running out of time. I don't have that much time to, much memory on my phone. I have a lot of problems with time-related issues. How long it takes to upload, a lot of problems. Okay, so they're not that smart, right? And they don't seem to get that no one's going to believe that the top martial artist ever is anything other than a black person, okay? There's a lot of athletic people from other races, but there's a significant gap when it comes to the top of the spectrum. Black people are the most intense and athletic, and they have a certain warrior kind of sense that comes from being in the jungle and stuff like this that goes beyond other groups at the highest point of the spectrum of being black, at the highest point of the spectrum of different black males, okay? Okay. So that's point number one, is they need a serious talking to. Point number two, they've obviously edited my pictures to no avail, okay? And they've disgraced their families beyond the point of no return doing so because the damage is done. This is a time when people need to scramble to rally to me if they're going to go to heaven. And they're acting like psychotic homosexual serial killers saying, oh, did I do that? Oh, kind of thing. And that there's nothing you can do to repent for that because lots of people have died and went to hell while they're doing that. So how much are their souls worth? Okay, and obviously no one's going to be able to bring them to heaven after my flesh dies for so many reasons, and I have many videos about that. Okay. Point number 3. It's not just a black person at the tip of the spectrum. It is a Nigerian specifically, someone from a Nigerian patriarchal line. That's part of why they have the Nigerian scammers out there, because they want to stigmatize the idea that the ideal man is from a Nigerian patriarchal line. Now, it's not a racist statement. It's like a no-brain statement. Bear with me now. So let's look at it in terms of, the top martial arts goes beyond other things, right? It's better to be that than the top scientist and on and on and on. That's why Superman and Wolverine and Batman, all these guys, they're superimposed on the idea of the Royal African Falcon, top martial arts of all humanity. There's no other way to look at it. In fact, Google it. You'll see that a lot of people have come to that conclusion already. There's articles about it, you name it. Okay? It's based on Horus, who was a black guy, right? Look at how he's depicted on the pyramid text. Even if you were to argue because you lost your mind that magically he was white on a fluke, why is he depicted with dark skin? And what kind of people are on the continent there? So those people firmly believe that Horus was a black person or a black-like person, okay? And he's the top martial artist of the whole world, a god of war, a god of justice. There's no other way to look at it. Now, when we look at the African groupings and the island groupings, right, Somalians and Kenyans and South Africans and people from Cameroon, okay, people from, Sudan, okay, whatever blacks they have in Egypt, okay, Ethiopia, Eritrea. When we look at this, not only is Nigeria the most populated country in Africa, okay, or in any black nation, but they are the most tough and most physically prone. The strongest Africans are almost certainly Nigerians, right? And the most athletic are Nigerians. So when you put that intensity and strength and all this together, what do you get? Now, again, just because you're stronger than someone doesn't mean you can beat him in single combat. Look at the strongest guy in the world. He's like a fucking robot, right? He hardly can move, right? I'd outmaneuver him, no time flat, cut his throat, he's done, boom, gone. You see what I'm saying? So it has to be a combination of features. Okay, in the most diverse race, which is black people, the most diverse nation in any black country, the most diverse black nation is Nigeria, and the toughest Africans are in Nigeria, and the greatest warriors are of Nigerian descent. Now, if we look at how African Americans live their lives, how they think, how they've been groomed, how they've raised, what martial arts they do and don't, okay, we can see there's a huge gap between them and me. Okay, even though I'm technically born in America. Okay, I'm much more spiritual than they are, much deeper than they are. Okay, I have focused intensity. A lot of them, can probably yell louder than I can, but I focus it in a sharp, way. Can I outmaneuver them easily? Done. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So the point here isn't the obvious that I'm, obviously the top martial artist ever possible. The point of this video is that there's a gap between me and other people. Okay. And there's no point in covering that up because you already look for the idea of me. And because of my legal and peaceful top martial arts challenge, I've proven that it's me 1,000,000 times over. There's no other way to look at it. So we see, leading me point number 4, to try to cover that up is the dumbest thing possible. So here these people are in the process of doing something they've been doing for a long time now, years and years and years. The dumbest thing humanly possible. So it reminds me of the saying, and write this down, this is my point 5, of were you born yesterday, right? Or people saying that they're not born yesterday because they're acting very immature, like they're born yesterday. Okay, which is also where we get the Kelly Bundy, right? She's a character who's scatterbrained, unfocused, senseless, thoughtless, etc. that they made on purpose for that effect. So it's not like I'm insulting somebody or somebody saying, I don't agree with you. That is the deliberate and projected characteristics, okay? Or characteristic of Kelly Bundy. Those are the deliberate characteristics of that person, okay? So when we see people who are like that, we know that they need the proper leadership and no one else has shown that they're worthy. And there's people who try to warn me and say, we don't want you to say it that way. Don't go there. Well, we're going to have to get even with you. They say things like this. Because these are organized rapists who don't want to debate me publicly. They want to take over the sovereignty of females. And just like with most people voting for Trump, there's a lot of issues there, but one of them, which is a major issue, is abortion. And they're going to literally vote for the guy who's going to take women's right to abort their children at a time when no one should be having kids. If this was a time long ago when people should be having kids, okay, and there's no reason to abort a baby, then you probably, I go as far as to say it should be illegal then. But now, when there's nothing but pure evil in the future, no possibility of good, it's insane to have a child. It's that same kind of deliberately evil mentality that is at play here. Persecute me.